Hey, Vanna. Hey, BK. You had Ed say hi again. Hi, Vanna. Hey, Roxanne. Friggin' ads. I'm always tempted to turn off. Every time I'm tempted to just like turn the ads off. But I suppose it makes me a few dollars. Just get up. Yeah, about 20 minutes ago. Got off about 20 minutes ago. Actually, should be. Speaking of pay, should be getting my paycheck today. My YouTube paycheck today. Not sure what not sure how much I made off YouTube this month, but I got the email letting me know. So money should be in my bank account in a few hours. Rate my work day? It was a day of work. On the plus side, I spent most of the day just I spent most of the day just working on tickets. I wasn't having to do live chats, and I wasn't on phones, so I could have my music playing while I was working on the tickets. Because that's the hardest part of being on phones, honestly. Like being on the phones, you're not taking any calls. You're just working on whatever tickets are available. But because calls could potentially come in, I can't really put music on. And it's super weird. I have so much it's so much harder to concentrate without music in the background. It just completely fucks me up. What do I listen to? Oh, I've just got a bunch of shit on my computer. Just songs I've downloaded, just a bunch of indie shit that I've downloaded. A lot of stuff from indie rock playlist. Going back over a decade. Some site for like over 10 years now has been, every few months they put together an indie rock playlist, just like they get a bunch of indie music and put it on a playlist, a sampler. So I always check those out, and any songs that I like, I download, keep on my computer. It's cool. Ever listen to music loudly? I mean, no, I don't want to disturb people. I don't want to disturb people, and truthfully, like, I don't know. I'm used to having music at a certain level. Turning it up louder would bother me as well. Whenever I listen to music, it's like the jellyfish rave from SpongeBob. Do I ever shake my body to the music? Only occasionally. There's a few songs that can get me moving. There's only a few songs that can get me moving. The Booty Shaking song. Feel It Still by Portugal the Man is definitely a big one. Trying to think of some of the other ones that do it for me. Maybe That's Not My Name by the Ting Tings. That one sometimes gets me moving, sometimes does, sometimes doesn't. I like the music on my phone. Sure. The Pipettes. Heads Will Roll. That's a good song by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Doesn't get me moving, but it's a damn good song. Heads Will Roll by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs is really good. There's a few songs. There's a couple songs by the Pipettes. Pole Shapes in particular. Pole Shapes by the Pipettes is. Are you doing the math? Yes, I do have a job. Sleigh Bells. The band Sleigh Bells. Hey, Sandra. They've got some movers. So they've got some moves. That song traumatizes you? Yeah, they've got some damned danceable songs. Um, I don't know. There's a few others, I think. A handful here and there. Bodies hit the floor or wake up, a little bit makeup. Hate both those songs. Especially that fucking Chop Suey. It's a bad song. Like, I'm sorry to everybody who likes System of a Down. I'm sorry to everybody who likes that song. It is a shitty ass song. Yeah, Bodies Hit the Floor. I don't like that song either. I hate that song. I much prefer some Feist, you know? I got a pocket full of sunshine. No, I can't sing that song because I don't actually know how it goes. I don't sing, and I don't know how that song goes anyway. Yes, doing the math. I'm still living with that LA couple. How's life treating me? It's kind of not treat. Life's not doing much right now. Eye at the Tiger. Nope. I'm not a fan of '80s music in general, Vanna. There are a small handful of songs that came out in the '80s that I do enjoy, but it's a very small number. For the most part, '80s music just do not like at all. You know, like Appetite for Destruction from Guns N' Roses, fucking killer album. Some killer songs on there. Um, there's a song called Nemesis by a band called Shriekback. which is, I looked it up once and apparently it came out in the 80s and it's really good. I didn't realize it came out in the 80s. It doesn't sound like, it sounds, it doesn't sound like something that would have come out in the 80s. It sounds too good to be an 80s song. But yeah, apparently it came out in 1985. But it sounds too good to be an 80s song. Also, it includes the word parthenogenesis, which is not a word you hear in a lot of songs. There's not many songs that throw out the word parthenogenesis. I feel like the 2020s are the equivalent to the 1980s. Disagree. I don't know. It's just like, it feels like the 2020s are, it's early yet. It's still only 2023, so it's early days yet. But it feels like the 2020s are more more activist, maybe, than the 80s were. Like, I think there's a bigger push towards activism than the 1980s had. It's almost more like the 60s. The 2020s so far is almost kind of more like the 60s. We'll see how the decade develops. But, or maybe the 70s. But I feel like there's a little more countercultural shit going on. Because, like, the 80s were defined in large part by Reaganism. Reagan in the US, Thatcher in the UK, Mulrooney in Canada. Scapegoat. And Reaganism was largely defined by the greed is good mentality. Right now, we're seeing a lot of unionization. Actually, the 1980s began a systemic decimation of unions. The 1980s began a dismantling of unions. 2020s, right now, we're seeing a bigger push for unionization than has been seen in 40 years. People are fighting back against the shit that defined the 80s. I suppose in terms of like the music scene, the 80s did have Living Alive in the US picks a new president. I don't know. It'll depend on what my shift is. It'll depend on what my shift is that day. I suppose musically, 80s, Anunnaki. Trying to think of how to put it. I mean, how would one define 80s music? I mean, you had like the hair metal bands. I don't know how subversive those bands really were. Like they were, I suppose, like 80s music, I guess, was almost like a faux subversiveness. The 80s hair metal, you had, they were more androgynous and shit like that. They were pushing a certain androgyny, but I don't know that they were really, I don't know how much those bands were really, Motley Crue was definitely, Motley Crue, for example, they were a little bit of a, they had an anti-establishment feel to them, but a lot of them, I feel like a lot of hair metal wasn't really about pushing back against anything. Is Hey, Pebs, work tomorrow? Yes, I do have work tomorrow at 5:30 in the evening. I work 5:30 at night to 2 in the morning. It is 2:30 in the morning where I am now. I just got off work half an hour ago. Suicidal Tendency and BRI. I mean, there were like smaller bands though. Like Suicidal Tendencies wasn't top of the charts. You get to sleep in? Yes. Demon time for me. Like there were definitely a lot of smaller bands who were very much like a lot of great punk bands and shit like that. But for the mainstream music, for the ones who are selling a lot of records, the ones who are on MTV and all that, were they? I don't know. Were they really that different from like was Whitesnake really that different from Paula Abdul? When you think about it, like when you really think about it, like a lot of the you had the pop music that was just doing what pop music always does. Um, see Instagram called Palestine terrorist. Yeah. I think even in terms of music, 2020s aren't really comparable to the 80s. Part of that, though, is that it is no longer possible for any decade for the 2010s, 2020s. Music has been democratized to such a degree that it is impossible for for these decades to have any musical definition. Because you've still got the big stuff. You've still got artists who sell a lot of music. You've still got your Taylor Swifts. You still got uh, Lil Nas X. You still got big artists like that, but a lot of people just listen to a lot of shit. It's a lot of people listen to niche shit. They find a niche that they enjoy. So even musically, I don't know how, I don't know that it's, even musically, I don't know that you can really compare 2020s to the 1980s. Politically, definitely not. Thought? I think there is a devoted effort to dehumanize Palestinians in order to justify Israel committing a genocide against them. That's my thought. And I think that a lot of Israelis are pretty pissed off about what their government and military are doing. Weird error. Yeah. They said it was an error. The error was in not anticipating the backlash. That was the error. They were trying to jump onto the bandwagon. They thought that supporting Israel was a non-controversial thing to do, without realizing that what they're supporting is Israeli genocide of Palestinians. So I prefer clear cups or non-clear cups. Clear. I prefer clear. Clear makes it a bit more refreshing. Somehow, yes. Not transparent am I myself. I don't know. I can't see through me. But yeah, somehow, like, clear glass, yeah, it does somehow make it more refreshing. Why did I take it literally? Partly because I wasn't sure if you meant it literally or figuratively. Partly because it was funnier to take it literally. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were like making a joke about. Like, I wasn't sure if you meant it as a joke or if you meant it as like. Eh. But also, it's funnier to take it literally. So apparently that new Spider-Man game is out. Hey, Scapegoat. What platform? Uh, PlayStation and PlayStation. I think it's on the computer. I think you can play it on the computer as well if you have a good enough computer. But it's a PlayStation game. I won't be playing it. Apparently, there's a few people who are pissy because about the fact that Black Cat is bisexual in the game. Apparently, Black Cat shows up and she has a line about where she mentions that her girlfriend is in Paris, and people are like, "Oh, they made her gay now. Woke agenda. They made her gay." It's like, fucker, she came out 20 goddamn years ago, bitches. Tom friggin' DeFalco is the one who revealed her as bisexual back in 2002. And he intended to have her come out even earlier. But Marvel said no. Had to have it happen in a what if comic, an alternate future comic. Because Marvel in the 90s was still pretty blatantly homophobic and didn't allow gay characters to exist at that point. My comment was gay erasure. Yeah, the people complaining about Black Cat being bisexual in the game are just proving that they don't actually give a shit about the comics. Hi, Endul. Because if they cared about the comics, then they would know that Black Cat has been openly bisexual for 20 years now, and that she was, and that the reveal came from from Tom DeFalco, a legendary writer. You know, one of the bigger Spider-Man writers of the 90s. But no, these people see a queer character existing and get pissy about it. I had, hey, you know name? Had the Sunday Scaries. Is that a comic book? Those are like comic strips, right? Sunday Scaries, wasn't that like comic strips or something like that? Wasn't that a thing at one point? Like 50 years ago? Before my time? One of my best friends is a Spider-Man. He's a web designer. Ah, clever. It's anxiety about the work week. Ah, fair enough then. Yeah, I get that. I kind of live in a constant state of anxiety about work. I see my mom. No, I'll probably see her. I plan on seeing her this week. I'll try to see her on Wednesday. Do anything for Halloween? Working. I work. So yeah, doing nothing. What's my costume? Your mom's snatch. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, PK. That was just rude. Holiday spooky drives and farm visits. Yeah, yeah, I miss those. Yeah. Quit bragging. I'm sorry, PK. Reese's Outrageous bars are very good. Can't say I've ever had one. Can't say I've ever will. Do you remember all my viewers? No. I never remember all my commenters. My memory's garbage. I don't remember shit. The hell do you think I am? Somebody who's able to remember things? That just ain't me. Chinos and mayonnaise? Okay. Solomon said, buy these for me. Whatever works. She doesn't want to be backhanded in public. Few people do. Tragedy, really. It's tragic how few people appreciate the value of a good public backhanding. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Tragic, really, in a British accent. The answer to whether I can do that is no. No, I can't. I am not good at accents. I'm not good at them. I'm pretty sure that's been proven on my channel before. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. I've tried to do accents on here and they didn't go over very well. I mean, yeah, people enjoyed them because they were bad, but they weren't good. Hey, Zach. Can I hit a fire uwu? A fire uwu? What's a fire uwu? fair to watch. I mean, I stand with Palestine. Palestine deserves to be free. Hey, Val. They deserve to not be bombed. They deserve not to have 125 kids killed every single day. Apparently, the number of kids killed in Gaza and the West Bank, because Israel's bombing the West Bank as well, but specifically in Gaza. Yeah, there's been over 1,700 over 1,700 Palestinian children killed since the bombing began. That works out to 125 kids every day for 2 weeks. Like 125 kids killed every single day for 2 weeks now. Yeah, that the side. Yeah, I'm taking the side of fucking Palestine here. Like, that is just an absolutely horrifying statistic. Like, that statistic is just horrifying. But hey, I'm sure they were all. I'm sure every single one of those kids was a part of Hamas. And hey, they were warned. Hey, if those kids didn't want to get bombed, they should have left when they heard the warning bomb. It's the kids' own fault for being at home when the Israelis decided to drop bombs on the homes. Or mosques, or bakeries, or hospitals. Who said I support Hamas? Fuck Hamas. Hamas can fucking die. And Israel also needs to end its occupation of the West Bank. It needs to end its of Gaza and West Bank. It needs to stop with the bombing. Needs to dismantle the settlements it's been building. Needs to stop giving funding to Hamas. Yeah, fun fact, Netanyahu has spent years propping up Hamas. Yeah, killing 125 kids a day is, hey, Barbara, killing 125 kids every day is not the way to stop Hamas. It is, in fact, a great way of pushing more people towards armed resistance. Because strangely, when an occupying force starts killing your kids, your first thought isn't, well, I should probably, uh, you know, I should probably push for change in my local government. Your first thought is, I'm gonna fucking shoot every goddamn person I see. Iran is threatened to get involved too. Yeah. So, yeah. Hamas are terrorists. They're shitty and awful and they deserve to die. The Israeli government and military are committing war crimes. They're shitty and awful and they deserve to be held accountable for that. And they won't. Netanyahu will never be held accountable for pushing for a genocide of the Palestinian people. The Israeli military will never be held accountable for bombing hospitals and kids and murdering journalists. You were not blocked yet. Pfft. Yeah. No one with any power is actually pushing back against what Israel's doing. They're all just like, well, Israel has a right to defend itself. You know, Israel, they have the right to defend themselves. Funny how the Palestinians apparently have absolutely no right whatsoever to defend themselves. They just have the Palestinians just have to sit there and fucking take it. Israel can bomb refugee camps that Hamas isn't even fucking involved in. Hamas is Israel can bomb refugee camps in the West Bank where Hamas doesn't even fucking exist, and and Palestinians just have to be like, I'm sorry. They're not allowed to defend themselves. The Palestinians are never allowed to defend themselves. Only Israel is allowed to defend itself by dropping bombs on refugee camps in an area where Hamas has no fucking power, where Hamas has no actual presence. Great fucking defense going on there, Israel. What's my friend say? I don't know. People who watch her channel would know more than I would. I don't actually watch her channel, so I probably should, since it's about the only way I can keep up with what she's up to. But I don't watch her. That was my day. Eh. It was a day where I worked. It's yeah, was what it was. Did I miss it? I do, PK. I do. She has a mystery cat on Heat. In Heat. That's fun. Yeah. I remember like years and years ago, I used to have a friend who had a an unspayed cat, and yeah, when she went into heat, it was annoying. That would have been when I was like 19, 20 years old, so long time ago. Cats in heat are scary. Yeah, the friend of the cat. Hey, Ebo. I'm in the friend script. Yeah, like it's he moved when I was like early 20s. Like he moved, I think, to Montreal, I believe, out of town at least, when I was still early 20s. So yeah, I didn't keep in touch with them because I don't have Facebook. So yeah, I never kept in touch with them. Apparently he got pretty fat after moving to Montreal. Still hoping to transition? Yes, I am still hoping. Have I been talking? No idea. Just apparently he got big. Don't just understand why people traveling the world acquire pets for others to take care of when they travel. Yeah. It depends on how much traveling they do, I would say. Yeah, like if it's if someone travels for like 2 weeks twice a year, that's fine. If somebody spends more time away from home than they do spend at home, then that, yeah. Like I get, they want companionship when they are at home, but I don't know. I get them to take off immediately after getting them. I mean, sometimes because you've had plans in place for a while. It's sometimes the pet ends up being unexpected. A cat will adopt you, or you'll somehow find it yourself. You'll just somehow find yourself with a new pet bird that you didn't plan on getting, while your trip is something that you've been planning for a while. So, I mean, it happens. It happens. Anywho, I don't want to look after anyone's feral cat. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. Have I ever seen a cat stuck in a tree? I haven't actually. Stuck on a roof, yes. Few years back when I was living with my mom's last time I was living with my mom, that would have been pre. When did I move to Ottawa? 2017, 2018. Was it like 2017 or 2018 that I moved to Ottawa again? Moved back to Ottawa. I guess 2018. I think it would have been. So yeah, like over 5 years ago, when I was last living at my mom's, like 5 years ago. Um, we had like a back porch. We had like a porch at the back of our house. Um, and my room was just right above it, so there was a the roof of the porch was right outside my room, and our cat was an indoor outdoor. We'd let him out. We'd let him out just because it was fine. We had the backyard and it was safe, and it was fine to let him out. He would get up onto the roof, like get up on top of the balcony, and like claw at my window. After letting him in a couple of times, I sort of like I started thinking like I don't want this to I don't want this to become a habit for him. I don't want him to just think that he can just come up to my window anytime he wants in. That's not a good habit to let him get into. So I kind of just started ignoring him whenever he'd come to my window. And he knew how to get back down. He could get back down to the ground, no problem. That's so sad. I remember I posted a photo of it on my Twitter once. Really cute stray cat that I think someone's dumped. Lives in my apartment complex. I've been trying to catch it. It's fluffy and cute, and I feel bad. Right. I mean, that's how you end up with an unexpected cat. Yeah. So that shit happens. Oh, bro, you're gonna have to scroll back real far for this. No, be ready for a cut again. Yeah, it's gonna be a long time because like I need to be financially secure enough for it. I mean, it's my job doesn't pay poorly or anything, but yes, I think it was 2018 that I moved to. Yeah, looks like it was 2018 that I moved back to Ottawa. The 2018. I think moved 2018. I moved back to Ottawa. Oh, I don't have the photo here. I was trying to find a specific photo. But it's not on my phone. Yeah, I had a funny photo cat of our cat outside my window. Ah, well. I know it's somewhere on my Twitter, but it's, it's over 5 years ago now, so long way back to go searching for it. What's my Twitter? At X-Men Expert. Do we eat fruit? I don't eat fruit very often now. Try to get vegetables once in a while now. Some vegetables and dip. Carrot, celery, and some ranch dip. Hey, backup sandwich. We have plumbers here called X Squirts. Cute. To see me in my own studio one day? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice. But even studios are expensive. Even studio apartments cost more than they should. Can't find it? Bear in mind it's expert, like as in the letter X, P-E-R-T. There you go. Thank you, Vanna. It's that. I also have a Blue Sky. My handle is not that, though. I did not use the same handle for my Blue Sky. Given I don't even read X-Men anymore, it didn't really feel appropriate enough. Thanks, backup sandwich. Good screen name, by the way. I almost never tweet anything. It's last time I tweeted something was Hannah Tell playing obstacles. Posted about Keith Giffen dying. Twitter's such a shit show. It is. It always was. Like Twitter always was a hellhole. It's one of those things where almost from the beginning, that was part of its brand is that it's a hellhole. But it's gotten a lot worse in the past year. It has absolutely it's been getting worse for a while anyway, but it's absolutely gotten way worse in the past year. What do I think she'll do when YouTube runs dry? I don't know. Die in the street? I don't know. They still go on Twitter? Yeah, and I still go on Twitter. If you curated who you let follow close enough, you get a lot of great information. Yeah. Yeah, and the site's definitely been being taken over by bots and assholes. Yeah, I mean, I still go on Twitter because like a lot of you know there are a lot of people I like who are on Twitter still. Yeah, there's still some really fun meme accounts on Twitter that I like. Um, there's certain people I follow on there because a lot of the people I started following because I like their comic books. Yeah, there's fair number of comic book creators that I follow, and it's just because I enjoyed their comic book work, and not all of them are on Blue Sky yet, or at least I haven't been able to find some of them on Blue Sky. Read a comic book? Eh. I don't have it in me to read anymore. Beyond that, comic books are, they're like, comic books are a unique thing to write. Comic books are not prose. So it is a very specific skill set to be able to write comic books. Like you'll see sometimes like people who are genuinely good, genuinely talented prose writers will try to write a comic book and it doesn't work. Study comics for fun. Yeah. Like there are people who write prose for a living who can't write comic books because it's such a different skill set from writing prose, and they just can't adjust to it. Pass that soon. Okay. Thanks, backup sandwich. Emotional support backup sandwich. Yeah, I mean, I struggle enough just to write prose, and I mean, like I said, I haven't written anything in 9 years, 8 years. Yes, but eight. Like I just haven't written anything in like 8 years. I don't have it in me to write. So yeah, 9 years a long write. It is, yeah. And it is absolutely a block. Like every once in a while, I would try like open a Word document, or I'd grab pen, whatever. Be like, yeah, maybe I'll write something, and but then I'll just be like, yeah, no, nope. Say, need inspiration? Not inspiration, motivation. It's not inspiration I need, it's motivation I need. And I have absolutely no motivation to write. Tried recording myself. Nah. Part of it, writing does take a lot of effort. And if no one's reading and no one's commenting, because like I used to write a shitty superhero story, and I had a handful of readers and nobody was ever commenting, and it was just like, yeah, there's no point in continuing this. So like if nobody's reading it and nobody's commenting on it, it doesn't feel like it's worth the effort. Something like this, it's low effort. Recording a let's play. That's my brother. He's doing fine. That's my kind of roommate. Yeah, I still don't think that'd work out. But yeah, like recording a let's play, for example. It's some effort, but not that much. It's like it's a game that I want to play anyway. I'll be playing a game that I already wanted to play. So even if nobody's commenting, I'm enjoying the experience of playing the game. Writing doesn't bring the same this is satisfying on its own terms that playing a video game does. Not for me, at least for me it doesn't. Speaking of video games, you know what I wish was a thing? Demos. I wish video game demos were a fucking thing. But no. Because, like, I was thinking, like, I might want to give Cyberpunk a shot. I might want to try Cyberpunk. I've been watching a Let's Play of the Phantom Liberty DLC that they just did. Isn't a beta a demo? I mean, sort of, but like, so yeah, I've been watching a Let's Play of the Phantom Liberty update for Cyberpunk. Like, I might want to give that game. I'd be, I may or may not enjoy that game. It'd be interesting to give it a try. It'd be interesting to try the game. Play just like the first mission. Just like 45 minutes to get through the first mission. Like literally just the first mission. Not an option though. That's not a thing. Steam does not have a Cyberpunk demo. Played quite a few demos between Switch and Steam Deck. But like, it's ridiculous to me that Cyberpunk 2077 does not have a fucking demo that I can just give it a try. Play through the first mission. Once you complete the first mission, you got a handle on the game. Well, no, but I mean, it gives you an impression. It gives you a vague idea of what to expect. Like if I'm going through and it's like, you know what? I am not enjoying this. That's what it is. Like, if I'm playing the demo, if I'm enjoying it, then yeah, I might decide to give the full game a try. If I'm not enjoying it, then money saved. as it is, if I want to give Cyberpunk a try, if I just want to test the game out, I need to pay $80 fucking for that shit. $80 to learn whether I would even enjoy the game. Whereas a 30-minute demo, a 30-minute demo of the very, very, very first mission that you do would tell me whether I would hate the game. It might not tell me that for sure that I'll enjoy it. It might not, might be that I play the demo and be like, yeah, okay, I could give this a try. And then I, play the full game. It's like 2 hours in, I'm like, no, I am not enjoying this. 2 hours in, I might still decide that I'm not enjoying it. But at that point, that's on me. I should not have to pay $80 just to see just to try a game. It's fucking bullshit. AAA games should just have free demos available always, forever, on any platform on which they're sold. Cyberpunk is available on Steam, so it should have a demo on Steam. Steam, you have a certain amount of time after buying a game to return it if you don't like it. All right, maybe I can look into that return process just to see if that would work for me then. All right, so that might be what I end up having to do then. Because like I said, I'd like to give it a try. Maybe I enjoy it, maybe I don't. I think it's 2 hours. Well, shit. How big that game is. With how big that game is, 2 hours might be how long it takes to download the game. Or is it like 2 hours after you buy it, or is it 2 hours of playtime? Like, is it like, here's the $80, you have $20, here's the payment, you have 2 hours from the time that you buy it? Or is it as long as you play less than 2 hours worth of content? It is after you buy it, 2 hours after you buy it? Well, shit. It's not a big enough game. It might take 2 hours to download it. Gotta play fast, apparently. Anyway. I think I'm gonna get going now. I am going to leave now. I will probably be back tomorrow. So, thanks for watching. And see you next time. Good night, everybody.